Big development here in the Kennedy Center as there's debates and questionnaires going on. And John Fetterman just dropped a bomb on his own party as they prepare for protests that, again, a lot of people are preparing for violence in the country to keep the government closed. This is some of Chuck Schumer's doing to keep the government closed so they can have a No Kings rally protest. Many people are saying that Trump is an illegitimate president. They're calling, the conservatives Nazis, and this is all getting pretty crazy right now. As I'm going to show you exactly what Chuck Schumer is trying to do by keeping the government closed, and also this No Kings rally that is coming up. But John Fetterman's had enough of his own party, and I'm going to also show you exactly what clip he is referring to that just happened yesterday on CNN. Boy, oh boy, things are getting pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie to you. Things are getting pretty wild, man. Things are getting crazy. So here he is speaking about his party and calling them out straight up to their faces because of what they're doing is actually something worse than you can possibly imagine.
I'm the only Democrat in my family. I grew up in a conservative part of Pennsylvania, and I grew up and I know and I love people that voted for President Trump. But they are not fascists. They're not Nazis. They're not trying to destroy the Constitution and those things. And that's part of another thing. I refuse to call people Nazis or fascists, or I would never compare anybody to Hitler and those things. And now that kinds of extreme rhetoric is going to continue. We're going to be more likely in resulting in extreme kind of outcomes and political violence and doing all these kinds of things like Charlie Kirk. For me, all I could say is like, let people grieve. Give people the space. I'm not going to use that terrible thing and that Pasek assassination to make my argument and try to put out my views. It's like, my God, he's a father that had his neck blown out by a bullet. And now people have forgotten. President Trump was in my state, was shot in the head. And if that could you imagine where our nation would be if he was hit in the same way with Kirk? We really got to turn the temperature down. And we can agree to disagree on these kinds of things. But right now, shutting down the government, I just can't take it that.
Wow. The voice of reason. He just can't take it. Shutting down the government to, again, do these rallies and these protests, encouraging crazy behavior because your party and your careers have gone down the drain in politics. This is the voice of reason. In 2025, this guy, John Fetterman, we've seen him speak before. We've seen him say stuff like this before. But man, is he correct here on this assessment? I'm not going to lie to you. Here is exactly what he's talking about. If you don't know what I mean, well, yesterday on CNN, things got pretty crazy, right? Between JD Vance and the pearl clutching comment about the group chat from the Republicans, young Republicans, and all these different things that have turned out to be in the last 25, 26 hours. Here is what happened on CNN. This is exactly what he's referring to.
But Keith, is that what you're saying? Is that this is representative of the Republican Party?
I am saying exactly that. The Republican Party in the past 10 years has moved down the road of racism. So it's not surprising that you see the open embrace of Nazism, of anti-Semitism, of homophobia, of transphobia, of sexism, of attacks on immigrants and xenophobia. Because the Republican Party under Donald Trump, the Republican Party under Donald Trump has doubled down on its racism.
All right. But Keith is.
Wow. So there you have it, right? Keith Boykins, I think is his name. And I think that the lady, conservative, I think she's a conservative. She makes the point. She says that is basically how, Democrats get mad when you say that they're the party of death, and they get mad about that. But yet he's just going out and saying that this. So you guys get the comparison there is that he has no holds barred. This is the type of extreme rhetoric that puts people who are conservative, have conservative values, or are Christian that may have leaned Republican in this election due to many reasons, including children, teachers in classrooms with pride flags, or teaching kids a drag queen story hour, or the gender stuff, right? In California, not telling teachers not telling parents about how their kids are identifying in school, breast cutoffs, or crazy extreme kids under the age of 18 doing sex surgeries. Like, I mean, we're talking about extreme stuff that one of the main reasons that I voted the way that I voted, because I, as a Christian, just could not see the nation go in this direction, this crazy progressive liberal stuff, in my opinion, right? Many different people have their stances, but it's crazy to see people go up there and flat out just point and say that all the Republicans, everybody is this way. I don't even do that to the Democrats. And sometimes it can be easy to do that, but I don't, and you shouldn't. And that is crazy. So Chuck Schumer is losing control, right? We already know that it's been pretty spilled out there that one of the main reasons he is doing what he's doing, keeping the government shut down, especially because people don't even know, in order to reopen the government, you're going to need Democrats. 60, senators as a whole, to make sure that you cover this vote. But the craziest part about it is, like, people don't even know that. They think that the Republicans are the one doing this, knowing that Speaker Johnson passed a clean CR vote, right? That the Democrats, again, don't want to come into. So there is something that was just spilled about, of course, Chuck Schumer. This is coming from Lisa McClain. She went on and started talking about the backroom deal that, again, Chuck Schumer wants to do to appease the crazy, super left-wing radical side of his party. And again, they want to make sure that they keep it closed until the No Kings rally that is supposed to bring out millions of people that are going to protest against President Trump.
Well, good morning, everybody. Here we are again. I'm going to be very clear. Chuck Schumer wants a dirty deal. I'll say it again. Chuck Schumer wants a dirty deal, one that caters to his radical base, the same crowd planning to protest at their I Hate America rally this weekend. And what is in this so-called deal? Let's take a look at what's in Chuck Schumer's dirty deal. Let me spell it out. It adds $1.5 trillion to our national debt. $1.5 trillion. It hands out health care to illegal immigrants. That's not a talking point. That's a fact. It guts the most historic investment Congress has ever made in rural health care. Again, that's a fact. And it weakens health care for hardworking Americans. Begin to see the compare and contrast? Chuck Schumer and the Democrats want to protect illegals and hurt Americans. Republicans, we actually want to do what we were elected to do, and that's take care of Americans.
Yeah, so there you have it from Lisa McClain, where she is speaking of the dirty deal that he is trying to make in order to reopen the government. And again, John Fetterman is one of those people who are against what Democrats are doing in keeping the government closed, as they have full-blown control of this, as, again, the clean CR has been passed, but they want certain measures and certain things to keep this going. So again, Chuck Schumer losing total control of his party. Even Trump called it out. Trump even had to come in and say something about this. Take a listen.
As far as the shutdown is concerned, this is a Democrat Schumer shutdown. And he's trying to do it to get relevance back into the party because he's a loser. I've known him all his life. He's always been sort of a loser, but an intelligent one. But I think he's losing IQ points with time. I think that happens. I hope it hasn't happened with me. I know if it did, you guys will let me know about it very quickly.
So there he is roasting Chuck Schumer. Says he's an intelligent loser. Man, you can't get enough of that sometimes. Again, it's a once-in-a-lifetime president. But here he is, and I want to leave you guys with this video. It's a very important video about what is happening during the shutdown that, again, is the backfiring part against the Democrats, as, again, they lose a lot of normal people. And in this case, they're losing people like John Fetterman. They're losing their minds, really, as to how they want to portray this presidency to be. And again, Trump is cooking them so bad that they have no other decisions to make or other options in their minds than to have these rallies and hopes that people turn and get radical. The only way to beat this is to constantly put it in their heads that Trump is the worst possible human being and their rights are being taken away and that all of these bad things are happening. That's the way that people are living today. I used to live that way a long time ago. Right? We're talking about 2016, 17, 18. I used to live that way. I used to be that young dude who was 18, 19, 20 years old that thought, oh my God, Trump is doing everything that can possibly go wrong. He's ruining everything. He's taking away our rights. He's coming after all. Again, none of that was true. That's why I stand here today to tell you that is the same strategy. But here he is speaking and giving the Democrats the worst news possible about the federal jobs going away, federal work going away. And this is something that, again, he couldn't be more happy about. And he can't believe that it's being handed to him in this way.
Democrats, they don't talk about this. We're getting rid of programs that we didn't like, but that were negotiated in, but we didn't like. We're terminating those programs, and they're going to be terminated on a permanent basis. And it's thousands of people, and it's billions of dollars. We're getting rid of a lot of things that we never wanted because of the fact that they made this stupid move. And they don't want to talk about it. They have their day coming up. I hear very few people are going to be there, by the way. But they have their day coming up, and they want to have their day in the sun. But they should really make a deal. So what we're doing, they call him Darth Vader, but he's actually a very nice person, Russell Vogt. But Russell Vogt is really terminating tremendous numbers of Democrat projects. There's not only jobs, the project in Manhattan.